Welcome to Dairy Pod, a podcast series from Dairy Australia. Featuring a range of experts, each episode offers insights into Australia's unique dairy farming conditions, as well as personal experiences and the latest in dairy innovation.
Welcome to the Dairy Pod. My name's Scott Jardine. I'm Carbon Farming Dairy Extension Advisor with Dairy Australia. And been working in the carbon farming space, helping farmers understand emissions for probably the last 10, 15 years. Today, I've got with me Brad Collins from Maguire's Hilltop in Dixie in Southwest Victoria. And he's going to be talking with me about carbon management activities and practice on farm. I've been working with Brad, helping him to do his carbon calculations for the last couple of seasons. It's been really fantastic to get to work with. But before we can get started, Brad, can you please tell me a little bit about yourself and your background in the dairy industry?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. I've been dairy farming since I was 15 years old, did my apprenticeship, and then spent 20 years share farming pretty much all around the country, here and there. And then brings me to today, where 6 years ago we bought the home farm, which was originally my grandfather's soldier settlement farm. And since we've bought it, we've focused mainly on being sustainable, and understand carbon's been part of that. And now we're milking around 300 cows. Yeah, we're along the way of trying to be as sustainable as we can.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's, I guess a lot of what we're wanting to talk about today is going to be in that being sustainable and productive. So to kick things off, been calculating your farm's carbon footprint for the last few years now. What was the main driver for you when you started doing this?
The main driver for me was with the changes that we were doing. I needed a start point. I needed to know where we started at. And to be honest, I probably should have done it about 6 years ago. But at least now we've done a start point, and now we can work on looking at where we can improve and where the inefficiencies are, and really focus on moving forward. But that's just one reason. There's other reasons is that we've got a consumers and an export industry that want us to know where our print is, and we've got banks that want to know, we've got factories that want to know, we've got insurance companies that want to know, we've got it's so you kind of had to start somewhere, and so that's where we started.
Yeah, brilliant. And I guess in that space, were there any bits that sort of you've seen coming along over the last year or two that have sort of helped to really accelerate that interest in our carbon number?
You definitely, because alongside improving the carbon number, it's improved the bottom line everywhere we go. So even though I haven't got my head totally around how the carbon number works and everything, but we're doing it, and we're improving all the time, and every little bit we've done to improve our footprint and our sustainability has improved our profit every in each time. So
yeah. Oh, fantastic. And I guess I should sort of say for anyone listening along today, so when we talk about a carbon number, or sometimes we say emissions intensity, that's essentially the emissions from the whole of the production system divided by the units of product that we're generating. So for a dairy farm, that's kilograms of carbon dioxide per kilograms of fat and protein corrected milk, which is about the equivalent of a litre. Sometimes we also talk about our carbon footprint, which is the total emissions that come from all of the business operations for a set period of time, generally a financial year. Sorry to butt in there. So for those who are listening today, can you explain, and who haven't yet started on their carbon farming or carbon accounting journey, what have you discovered, and what's the process that you've gone through in doing this?
So the original process was when we bought the place, we'd pushed the place to a limit that was, I call it that it was cooked. The farm was cooked, and things were really starting. We had every single bug on the place. We had every single, and then I thought, well, I've got an opportunity to do things different here. Consumers are screaming out for us to do something different. So I thought I'll try and be a little bit ahead of the game, and so I've kind of always been driven by consumers' needs, but I've also been making sure sustainability and profit was always centre.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and started doing some projects, and some of the projects were different for what most people were doing, but we had an old irrigation system that was tied and needed upgrading. So we converted that all into a totally off the grid solar system that irrigated, and that's originally the first one went in 5 years ago now, and now we've just put in 2 center pivots, and 100% of the irrigation runs on solar, and we managed to fill up a dam through the winter time, all on solar to irrigate as well. So that's gone a long way on focus on helping our footprint with the less fuels and energy use, and really focus also on some soil and making sure it's trying to improve soil health. So we cut back on a lot of urea use and strategically use fertilizer. Went to growing a lot of maize, which gave us bulk feed. So.
Yeah, fantastic. And I guess that's one of those really key things that we do see in this space is that what's actually going into the cows and being able to get as high quality feed as possible really does play a big role. Recognizing, so those sources of emissions, the cows are our biggest emitters on the farm, aren't they? So if we've got cows that are healthy and productive, but also getting good quality feed that they're able to produce good volumes of milk, that's going to be a big driver in that space, isn't it? So it's, I guess some of those big bits there.
I think one of the big things that now we're focused on is that making sure we've got the full potential out of that cow. It's like if you own a truck and you're running up between Melbourne and Sydney, you won't run it half full because those emissions are still the same whether it's full or empty, pretty much. So it's now getting the best out of that cow, and without working out what her potential is. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess that's reflecting on what we were saying before we started the interview today about having your preg testing and making sure as they're coming through that you're all pregnant as they're drying off. So that's just one of those aspects where we're just keeping the finger on the pulse the whole way through, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So thinking of some of those actions that you've taken over the last few years, how do you feel some of those have either increased your farm performance or reduced your emissions?
Has to have improved. And it's like we've gone from spending $100,000 a year on diesel to zero. We've gone from having power usages of higher than normal to none. Like it's so energy wise, we've had a massive saver, and that's just not in emissions, but it's also in dollars in the bank. So now the infrastructure's in, it's pays for itself. Most of the payback's 3 years. So it's been a good investment. So.
That's fantastic. And you've been saying about some of the different feed approaches that you've taken as well. So as well as the maize silage, what are you doing with your pastures to try and maximise the return you're getting on those?
I experimented early with some lucerne, but struggled to keep it. So now everything is the same with chicory and as a base with the pasture. I'm a firm believer that chicory is working well for us. It's helping with that soil structure. It opens up the soil with its root the system that it has, and it also helps get water down into where the roots are. Helps the roots go into get depth, and so to me it's working. And which helps use less synthetics and really guess that's just helps. And I'll admit I've got a lot to learn in that space still, but the little bit that I've done, I feel it's rewarding. So.
Yeah, and look, I guess one of those reflections when we have been doing your calculation is that we're seeing the production that you're getting out and the feed volumes that you're getting into the cows from those sort of high quality feeds. It's really showing up in the emissions intensity, isn't it? We're seeing compared to the regional averages, your cows are lower emitting than the regional averages, aren't they?
Yeah, maybe. They're just good fathers, not so good at fathers. And purpose.
Always a plus.
And purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess before we'd done, and you have already answered this a bit, but before we'd started doing the carbon calculation, you had much of a focus on emissions previously, and now you know the relationship between those emissions and efficiency. Will you be focusing more on emissions as an indicator moving forward?
Oh, yeah, 100%. If you had asked me 6 years ago, would I be talking about emissions, and I would have said, oh, don't talk smack to me. But the more I've gone down the line, the more I've realised it's so in line with sustainability and profitability. So yeah, I think it's, for me, and in our business, it's important, and it's something that we'll continue to learn about and discover more and more as the years go on. And I think big part about being sustainable are these 1 and 2 10%ers. There's not one thing that's going to save our industry. Like our industry, if you listen to most people, they'll say it's on its knees. I'm pretty positive. I feel that we can. There's a lot we can still do. But unless you got to be focused on what you can do for your own business, and these are the things we can do. So to me, it's important to we'll be learning more.
Yeah, fantastic. And yeah, I guess it really is a lot of those bits where we're not going to have a silver bullet that's going to change everything overnight. But being able to have those areas where we can look at, am I getting the best quality feed that I can in there? On the flip side, am I getting too much protein in there, for instance, which means that you're going to be paying more and potentially not utilising that nitrogen, so it's coming out as additional emissions. So being able to use some of those little factors in there can be a real positive, can't it?
Definitely. Since I have not had an ammonia smell in the dairy for probably 3 years, which has been good. So, but prior to that, we were cooking them with ammonia all the time. Like it was, yeah.
Oh, that is, well, both a positive for the cows, the environment, but also that comfort of, when you're milking, if your eyes aren't weeping, it's always a plus.
Yeah.
So looking back now, what's something that you would do differently in hindsight?
Be focused on what you can do for yourself. Don't worry about too much what's going on around you. And if you've got an idea that you think might, just try it. It's worth having a look at. It's worth having a crack. Nothing's too dumb, I don't think. I think if you think that you can make $1 out of it, then investigate what can be done. I've done heaps over the years that were stupid and dumb and wasteful, but until I become accountable for what I was doing, I think that was my biggest learning was, and continues to be, just be accountable for yourself. Don't worry about everyone else, and learn off other people, but only really compete against yourself. Yeah,
sure. That's awesome. So thinking about your key takeaway, if someone was looking at starting and hadn't yet started their own farm emissions journey, what would you recommend they sort of have as key takeaway?
Just make sure you do get your numbers, see where your starting point is, do a better job of me of understanding it, because I'm still trying to get my head around it all. But the more I do it, the more I'm going to understand it. So I think just have a start point. Just start pretty much, and then ask questions. There is advice out there, and there's expertise in this space now all around the country. So there's if Scott or DA haven't got the answer, there's probably someone else that can help you with different answers.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for the big ups there. And I guess in that space, absolutely. So there will be a link in the episode note from this recording where you can register interest to carry out a carbon calculation with me. I'm going to be sticking around for a while yet. So, we'll be definitely available to help people out with getting started on their carbon journey.
Don't be scared of it.
Yeah, fantastic. So, look, there are going to be some more workshops and one-on-one sessions available coming up. The links can all be found in the episode notes. With that, Brad, I would really like to thank you very much for your time today. It's been really awesome having a discussion with you. Thank you very much. And, again, always happy to be there to help out if you've got questions and to help with working out what ideas and what changes can be a positive. Thank you very much.
No worries, Scott. I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity and the work that you put in. So thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks heaps, mate.
Thank you for joining today's Dairy Pod episode. We hope you found it enjoyable and insightful. For more information, check out the episode notes. You can stay up to date by following Dairy Pod on your favourite podcast platform. To get in touch, visit dairyaustralia.com.au. Until next time, take care.